morning, everybody. My name is Stephen Reich. I'm the business manager for Laborers Local 754. To my left is my secretary-treasurer, Rob Bonamalo, and our president, Ken Lewis, and of course the man of the hour, Mike Lawler. We're here today. The executive board and members of the Laborers Local 754 is proud to endorse Mike in his quest to represent the residents of the 97th Assembly District. Working with Mike has been a breath of fresh air, and I've gotten to know him over the last few months, and we believe his vision for the district, county, and state needs to be heard. He understands the need to confront economic, environmental, tax, and housing issues while ensuring the real-time need for working people to be able to make mortgage payments. Mike knows that union workers help drive the economic engine through upward mobility. In a fair world, we earn a basic 80-20 health plan for our families and a modest pension if everything goes the way it's supposed to. This alleviates the burden on government to provide for people in their retirement and health care, which is one of the issues that is facing this country on all levels. This was a basic American ideal that seems to be less and less prevalent as time goes on. With the insanity of the far left fighting with the far right, neither has a viable real-world plan for attacking the challenges of the future. The division has resulted in ignoring basic infrastructure and needs for the 21st century economic model that we all see we need to get to. There's upgrades in all levels, whether it be infrastructure, schools, things like that have to be addressed now in order to be competitive in the very near future. We need men and women to step up and negotiate a plan of attack that will address our needs but allows for middle class growth in the process while respecting the position of the other side. That's how we built this nation. Mike is one of those people. Mike is somebody who can work with the other side, who sees the needs of and understands whether he has his points of view, but he's a guy that understands all sides and really tries to find the happy medium for all his constituents, and we feel that we need that kind of person in Albany, Washington, on the local level, all the way up through government. It's sorely lacking. We really feel that Mike will do this, and at the same time he's going to maintain and expand opportunities for working families to prosper in the future as we transition to the new economic model. This being the case, we're proud to endorse Mike, and Mike, we're with you, brother.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, Rob. And thank you. So I'm truly honored and excited to have the endorsement of the Laborers 754. This is a campaign I started several months ago before all of this chaos and just kind of craziness going on in our country right now. Obviously, with the pandemic and economic issues and challenges and civil unrest going on. And I'm proud to be standing here today. And the reason being, I've lived here my whole life. I've lived in Rockland County. And I chose to run because there's some real issues in our county and in our state that need to be addressed. And first and foremost is affordability. We live in a county with the second highest property taxes in America. Many of your members live in our county. They live in the Hudson Valley. And we need to make it so that them and their families can afford to stay here and have good paying jobs and opportunity in Rockland County, in the Hudson Valley. And that's why as a lobbyist up in Albany, I've advocated with the operating engineers for the expansion of projects like Route 17, critical infrastructure investments, because that is the opportunity to put your members to work. It's the opportunity to grow our economy and get new investment, bring businesses here to grow and prosper. And so what it comes down to is this. I want to go and fight for all of our residents, including the members of 754, so that we have good paying jobs, so that people can take care of their families, that all of our children get a quality education, including vocational training, that people do have access to affordable health care, and that we are living in safe neighborhoods. And that is the thrust of why I'm running. That's why I'm excited to work with you guys and have your support. And I will be a champion for our building trades and construction trade organizations so that we can get good paying jobs, critical infrastructure investment in our region, and continue to grow our economy. You know, Rockland County, as I said, is the second highest property taxes in America, and the only way we're going to combat that is to have a growing economy and to have good paying jobs here, so that we have more people paying taxes and we could spread it across the spectrum, so that we can continue to provide the services that we need to in this county and in this state. So I'm excited to work with you. You will have a strong ally and advocate in me in Albany, and look forward to getting up there in January and starting to get to work. So thank you very much, Steve, Ken, and Rob, and appreciate your support.
We're behind.
Just a quick question.
Yes.
What does this endorsement mean to your campaign?
Well, I think what you're seeing across the district here is, you know, my opponent has never really had a tough race. She's never been challenged by anybody who has been able to put together a real campaign. We've outraised her significantly. I'm at about 145,000 raised compared to, she was on the filing about 12,000 raised. You know, I've started to pick up strong support from labor. This is the first of many endorsements that will be coming from the building trades. And, you know, Steve got on board early, which with financial support, and yeah, that's why I thought it was important to start with the laborers and announce them first, because they really got on board right away and have been very supportive of this campaign. I think we are well positioned to win in November. You know, I grew up in Suffern. I live in Pearl River now, so I've lived on both ends of the district. I know the people in this community, and I feel what they're going through. And so I'm going up there to fight for Rockland County. Unfortunately, my opponent has not fought for our county. She's failed on a number of issues, including the most basic of affordability, school aid, infrastructure investments. You know, we're getting toll hikes to pay, obviously, for the Tappan Zee Bridge. She should have been advocating more forcefully to make sure that, you know, tolls remain low, and working with our partners in the federal government to make sure that that was fully paid for and that we're not relying on a loan, you know, for such a critical infrastructure project, not just for us here in Rockland County, but for the entire country. You know, the new bridge is a jugular vein of the Northeast economy. The laborers were a big part of building that bridge, and it was a critical infrastructure project. I give the governor credit for getting that done, but it's something that should have been paid for with full funding from the federal government as opposed to a loan. And so it's things like that where she's not advocating for our community. She's not advocating, you know, to make Rockland more affordable. And so that's why having the support of the building trades, having the support of law enforcement, which we're going to be rolling out those endorsements shortly, it's a broad coalition of support that, frankly, nobody has ever had running against her. So I feel very positive about this endorsement and the path forward.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Can I add something? And, you know, access to our people in Albany is critical. Mike you can communicate with him, he listens to you, and he actually, you can see it in his eyes when he tunes in, and he gets it. He understands that the people here, like a lot of my members, at one time we all lived in Rockland. Rob's one of the few ones that are left. Everybody's getting pushed out, and because, for the simple fact, taxes, you know, I mean, guys are traveling a long way just to come to work, and, you know, we also need, like, the toll issue is a big one, because a lot of our members, when work's slow in the county, other of our surrounding locals help our people, you know, and, you know, when you're a working guy, people think that construction guys make a ton of money. When it's all said and done, you know, if you make $60,000 to $80,000 a year, you're doing well. Of course, you have benefits and stuff, but, you know, we all know in Rockland County that doesn't cut it. But, you know, guys are making it work with their wives working, and they're trying to grow their families here. So, you know, we're a little bit unique here because we're the only Rockland-only union, and you know, and Mike is, he's the man for the job as far as we're concerned, and we really, really hope that the people will vote for him and really see that you need a little bit of new blood in there. And because we all know Albany's getting a little bit too far to the left, a little bit too crazy. We need to move to the middle, and Mike's the guy to do it. So.
And just to follow up a little, I did some research earlier today. You've done endorsements of Republicans and Democrats.
Yep, absolutely.
So you guys kind of do it on a merit-based system.
Absolutely.
Pick the best person. Could you just talk a little about that, how that goes?
Well, a lot of times people come to us, we talk about it with our members, and it comes down to whether or not they're willing to listen to us. And I mean, we understand how politics works. You can't have all of everything, and we don't put that kind of pressure on our people that we endorse. We understand that they can only do what they can do, and they have a lot of other people they got to keep happy. But it comes down to the people that will hear us out, and then actually, and more times than not, we can convince them that this private, we're a private union. We're not funded by taxpayers. Of course, we do public work, but we do private as well. We negotiate one little bundle of money, and we have to pay. That's our wages and our benefits. If our pensions go into hell, it comes out of our pocket. You know what I mean? So in a lot of ways, we're like a private business. So we face a lot of the same challenges as the private sector. Now, of course, we got plenty of friends in the Democratic Party too. But we also, we need people that understand that, like energy policy, we can't just go turn a switch and go to a green infrastructure and have any kind of a middle class economy. There is a need for gas. There is a need as a bridge to the green. We're all about green infrastructure, but we need to get there in a smart way without decimating the economy. And by the same token, we like to have the debate with real facts and not, the misinformation coming from some of the far left environmentalists is outright sickening. And in some ways, I'd love to be allied with them, but they make up stuff that just isn't true. And if we all get together and get rid of this division and start to look at issues and try to, this country was built on compromise. Our government is built on compromise, and it's nobody gets everything they want. The model we have today is everybody's trying to get all of what they want. That's why we get nothing done for the last 15 years. It's got to stop. Guys like Mike are the kind of guys that'll be the step towards making that stop.
I think, and just to add on to that, it's about restoring common sense and balance in Albany. And as Steve pointed out, the state has moved far to the left. And you need some voices that are going to push back on some of this, especially as it relates to energy policy, infrastructure investments. At the end of the day, again, it's about getting people to work. It's about making sure that people have good-paying jobs, that they can take care of their families, that they do have quality education and access to affordable health care. And that's what the laborers provide for their members. And I want to work closely with them. As Steve said, you're not always going to agree, but that's not really the point. You have to be willing to sit down and engage in conversation and find ways to work together and find common sense solutions. And, unfortunately, on issue after issue, my opponent has not done that. She passes bills related to public safety, but doesn't sit down and talk with law enforcement. And she passes bills related to, environmental policy and green energy, but doesn't sit down with the building trades to talk about how that impacts, their members and the jobs that they're providing, and the movement to ban natural gas, how that impacts jobs across our state, how it impacts the cost of energy, how it impacts, manufacturing, how it impacts the cost of construction. There's no actual discussion about how these policies impact the hard-working men and women in labor. And that's something that I will always sit down and work with them to address.